Today I want to go over the Magellan, the old Magellan Pro Angler. It's one of my biggest hits here on the channel, so I've been leaning towards getting another one, a bigger one, but I think I'm going to wait and just see, come the first of the year maybe, or maybe keeping this one down on our lake and then getting another one for, traveling. So, but in the meantime, we're still keeping it. We're still adding stuff to it. I got a brand new mount, motor mount that I just made, and we're going to show you that. And we're also going to show you our new Autoboat Gen2. Anybody who's ever seen this, I had the original Autoboat, and it worked great for about 6 or 7 months, and then we started having problems. They warrantied it the first time, ran good for a couple of fishing trips, and all of a sudden it went bad again. So then I ended up buying a GPS puck because we thought that was it, and that didn't help. So I was kind of fed up about it and kept reaching out to him. We were texting each other back and forth, and actually the owner of Tiny Boat Nation reached out to me personally on a phone call, and I was almost leaning going towards someone else. I didn't want to have problems anymore. I knew they came out with this new Gen2, but I'm like, are they going to have problems with this one like they did? And nothing against Tiny Boat Nation. I know they don't make the product, they just distribute it. But it was a great product. I used it so many times and had no problems with it, and then started having problems with it. Come to find out, I guess, there was a few problems with it. So that's why they came out with the Gen2. I'm not one of those guys that gets on YouTube and say this is a shitty product, you shouldn't go buy it, it's terrible. I'm not that guy. Actually, the owner of Tiny Boat Nation said, if I wanted to do that, go. That's your right to do it. But I'm not that kind of guy. I'm the kind of guy that, gives second chances. So I ordered one. I had to wait a few months because I ordered it right when they shipped all the first ones out. I had to wait on the second one. I was told September, and here it is, first week of August, and I got it. So thank you, Tiny Boat Nation. Hopefully when we get this on going, it'll be so much better than it was before. As you can see by my collection of products from the previous version, I've got 2 boxes here. I've got three GPS pucks for the GPS. I've got, it was frustrating, trust me. So we have a collection of parts, and they didn't want it back. So who knows what I'm going to do with them. So we're going to leave that for here. We're going to put the new one on today, show you how to install it. It's so much easier. All that parts that you see right there is all in the head now. No more box that's laying out here, wires all over the place. Has a coiled wire on it. You'll see when I get in the instructions. I'm doing it. As you can see, we only need 2 wires of doing it. So we're going to get to that in a second. But first, I want to show you the new mount I made, and all these parts will be on down below the list of parts I got. I think I got all of them from Amazon. So as you know, from the previous mount I had on here, I basically had, there's a handle up here. So there was 2 pieces of wood together, and I bolted them together with some long bolts, and then I put the trolling motor mount on here. It worked. It worked for quite a while, actually, but I just wanted something better. It took me a little bit, I'm out there fishing and thinking about how I could do it, how I can do it, and I finally figured it out. And I think it's ingenious of what I did. These are all on Amazon. They fit, these are almost like the slots right here on your kayak that you can slide stuff in, like the seat here, you know, your paddle holder. It takes the same thing. I forget the name of them, but they'll definitely be down there in the parts list of what I did. So I've got 2 of these, and then I had to cut right here for this length right here. Some corner braces I got also. So this all came with the hardware. It's all down below. Cut it to size. Ended up, we have our rails right here. So this is actually attached to the rails right here, so no holes drilled. Comes with these tie downs right here. So all I did was Velcro them. I wire tied them to each side right here, and I also wire tied them to the handle right here. I got I believe it's a 1/4 inch Starboard right here. Ordered it, cut it to length, you know, in the size, and drilled right through it and attached it to the bar right here with just screws and the sliding. Actually, the slider that comes with the corner braces here, I used that slider and got the screws from hardware store, and it worked out perfect. Very heavy Starboard. Then I drilled it for the mount here, and you know, it's very sturdy, so much sturdier than the other one. I've already used it a couple times with the old Autoboat system, and it worked great. But now it's going to be even better. So that's how I mounted it. You know, wire tie here, over here. Mounted it down with screws here, and it fits perfectly on the oops, a little too close. Fits perfectly on the top of the kayak here, and that's how I wanted it. This is all level. I have my little Garmin GPS here. Braced it here, and you know, and then wire tied it. I cut slots in the Starboard right here and here, and then just wire tied it to the handle. So no screws at all. And one of the reasons that I didn't want to drill into the hull of the kayak is because that's the only thing I don't like about, one of the things I don't like about this kayak is there's no access underneath to the hull. So I couldn't get in there to tighten it down or anything like that. So this was the best way of doing it. It's very sturdy. I am going to get heavier wire ties, but I just have not done it yet. And there's my mount. It works great. And you know, once we get done with the installation, I'll show you out on the water how great it is. All right, so let's get to installation of the Autoboat. I can tell you the packaging is so much better than it was before. This is the way it comes. And once you get this off of it, you know, they give you pretty much, this is how you, it's basically a start guide. You can download that. You can get on there and it shows you exactly how to install it. Very nice, neatly packed. And like I said, there's no big box anymore. It's all in your head right here. All right. They came out with a new remote, and I know they're coming out with another remote. I actually saw it on one of the Tiny Boat Nation's videos. It's a bigger one. It almost looks like the Minn Kota one. It's got a screen on it. So very anxious to see that one. You get an extra battery with it, which you did with the first one also. A new collar. All right, and that's it. That's all there is. So the less wiring, less box. I don't have to run wires all over the place. So we're going to get this out of the box. We're going to get it installed, and then we're going to hit the lake. So let's get to it. thing first is I've already jumped the gun. Actually, this is a trolling motor that I ran with another PWM on my other kayak down below. And I've already taken off the original, the head of it's a Minn Kota, I believe it's a 42 foot-pounds, which is perfect on here. If I had a bigger kayak, I have a couple 50s that I could use, but for what I do, I don't race to anywhere. I just cruise around, usually on between 1 and 3 speeds. So first thing you do is basically take off your original head of your trolling motor, and there's probably, I think, 4 wires, the red and black, I think a yellow and white maybe. Those you don't even need at all. You can stuff them back down in here if you like, and then your red and black is what we're going to use. And then this is what makes me nervous. We're going to trim it to about 3 inches right here, and then we're going to attach the head to it. So we're going to get that out right now. We're going to strip away the covering. This is your whole thing right here. It's so much better than it was before. You know, kudos to Tiny Boat Nation and the manufacturer of Autoboat. They really, and here's what you don't did it good on this one. You know, I almost did it. This one now has an on-off right here. Used to be, that's all you do. Turn it on and off. You can either use these clips are designed. We'll show you later. Or you can just use it right in. You don't twist it. If you twist it, it just won't give you that great connection. So these clips are really easy. All we're doing is just flipping that up, flipping this up like this. These are really nice clips in there, and you just clamp it back down. So that's what we're getting ready to do now. Feel good using those. You want to tie it together. Go ahead and do that. But we're not going to do that. So we're going to cut it about 3 inches. Okay, now we're getting ready to put the assembly together, and I can tell just by looking at it now they've improved so much in it. Before, we would have this collar right here, it unscrewed with the little thumb screw right here, like this, and then it would attach just like this. And then you attach it to where your tightening is for the shaft, so it doesn't move. And that's how it did. And then your clamp came down here, and that's what helped rotate your trolling motor. So I was having problems at the end. One of my trolling motors, the shaft, really got tore up, just because it just wasn't lining up properly. You had to put a washer behind here. It was just, I don't know, one thing after another. But now what they have done is, yes, it still comes apart, but you don't need to take it apart. The sprocket right here is totally different from the other one. There you had multiple teeth in there. This one looks like there's only 4. So your collar's different from the other one. Here's your collar right here. It'll go down in here, and this is basically what turns it. But now what they have done is you just slip it over the top, which is so much better, I believe. My own personal, So what we do, we slide it right over there. We're going to have to hold the trolling motor here. Take out your tensioning knob. Alright, put it down there where it lines up. Then put it right back on. Of course, you you adjust your shaft where you want your trolling motor. We're going to get the head on. So we got these two little wire clamps right here. These are really nice. Positive and negatives are all you're going to use. And what, just kind of flip that up, the one that's not being used, and that's where your wires go in. You do not want to twist your wires. All right, I just want to kind of repeat that. Do not twist your wires. These clamps are made to the wire not to be twisted, so when it goes in it kind of flattens it out. If you twist it, it's not going to flatten it out, and it could break your little locks here. So make sure you don't twist it. All right, put her in there just like that, and then just clamp it down. Very simple, so much simpler than the Generation 1. I think they really went to work on this Generation 2 and got it really nice here. So once you get those done, we're going to slip these up inside the neck here. All right. All right. One up in there, two up in there. On the top of this head, you got your arrow right here. This is your GPS right here. Make sure that points, if you're sitting in a kayak, it points away from you or straight out. All right. Now we're going to get this all pushed up in here in the neck. This could be a little difficult. There we go. All right. Down where your holes will line up on the shaft with your head right here. Might take a little force with those wires up there pushing down on it. There we go. Alright, I'm going to take your little screwdriver here. Feel your way in there. I can feel the wires blocking the hole right now, so you want to just kind of use your screwdriver to move them away from that hole. Alright. Put your screwdriver in from the other side. Put it right up against it, kind of use it to guide it. It's probably be the most difficult part of your whole installation here is trying to get this by those screws in there, or the wires in there. Give it a little tap. Alright, once you kind of feel it hitting the other side, put your little screwdriver in here. There she goes. Alright, get your locking nut, put it on the back side, and it's grooved out to where that locking nut fits right in there. You don't need a socket or a wrench. It just fits in there, and once you start tightening her up, it kind of locks itself in there. And duty ends. I'm just really excited about this. So show you how I do it here. I run it from the battery. The battery is behind the seat here, which I can show you right now. All right. So this is where my battery's at. I got a little Power Queen, 12 volt, 50 amp. I've used this battery for 8-9 hours with the old system, and still have 40-50% left in this battery, and it's just a little 50 amp. I do have a 100 amp that I could use, but less weight, so I use this one. So what I do is here I have, here's your circuit breaker here. I have the wires going underneath my seat. Let me get around to the other side. Right here I can show you. I I went to the, I think Walmart. Got these little clips right here that stick on to the side of the kayak. Just make sure you clean it with alcohol or whatever. And I got one for positive, one for negative, and this is how I run it down the side of the kayak. Again, you can't put anything inside the hull because there's no way of getting to it. I could drill holes in it, put a little, little doorway, but I'm not going to. This is how I do it, and this stays totally out of my way. I have them there, and right here, and this is where I attach the Autoboat right here. So let's get back over on this side. Get you back up here. Alright. So what I might do, since I only need to go to right there, I could kind of, I don't know, we'll find something how it's going to work, but all I do is attach it. And these came with Generation 1. These are great. I love these. So all we're going to do, put that there. Put your washer there. This is the lead from the battery. And all you're doing is tightening that together. Hopefully you can see it. Alright. There's your positive. Stays out of the way. Alright, boom. And then your negative, same way. There you go. Totally different beep than what it was last time. There we go. Tuck that out of the way. We'll figure that out once we get it all ready to go, but there it is. It's all hooked up. It's ready to go. And let's get it calibrated. You gotta make sure you calibrate the GPS. Alright, put her on straight. Now we're going to hit our navigation button again for 10 seconds or whatever time it starts to do the turn it on, hit your navigate button, 10 seconds, and then it should start calibrating here. There it goes. All right. Bam, and there it goes. It is ready to go. I think, pretty sure. Let's test it out. All right, turn it off, turn it back on. All right, so you can see it right there. Turns right, turns left. All right, and then there we go. Got 10 speeds, 10% on each one. And there's full speed on a 42 foot-pound trolling motor on a kayak, which hardly ever use unless you're trying to get to a spot real quick. And there's off. There's one right there. Like I said, I usually use it 1, 2, or 3 when I'm trolling. Alright. Turn it off. There's the installation of the Autoboat, you know, with me talking and showing everything. probably took twice as long as what it should. It should only take 15 to 20 minutes of setting it up, putting it on, getting ready to go. So it's all ready to go. I can't wait to get on the lake. So next time you see us, we were out on the lake. Get back with you. See you soon. All right, everybody, we've made it out to the lake. Had to go into work for a while, but now we're on the home stretch of the day. The afternoon hours, the bite should be kicking up now. Now it's freaking hot. It's rained every day. Looks like some clouds coming in. We might get a little bit of rain, but there's a lot of fresh water in the lake, so hopefully that'll stir the fish up, stir the bait up, and we can get it going today. But what we're here to do is show you once you get on the water with the Autoboat. You saw the installation video. Wasn't the best installation video there was, but I was so excited to get it out, get it on here, show you guys how to do it. It was a little rough, but we got there. We're on the lake now. I'm going to show you how to first get it going. I know we calibrated it at home, but once you get on the lake for the first time, you definitely want to calibrate it once you're on the lake. And if you fish for a few hours, come back and shut it off. Once you turn it back on, you should calibrate it again. So pretty much every time you go on the water, you calibrate it just to make sure everything's good. So all right, we got her on right now. Want to calibrate it. Hold the end button, which is navigate, down for about 5 seconds. There we go. Now what it's doing, it's going to turn to the right and then to the left. And what it's trying to do is find due north. That's how you get the GPS all set up. And there we go. You're all set. You're ready to go. So the remote's almost the same as it was before. The only thing different is this button here. Before it was a cruise control. Now it's your fish. So if you have the app up and running, if you find a good fish spot, you just hit that. It automatically records it on your online app. But mostly what I use to two things. I use the navigate button. Navigate is you basically point it to where you want to go. You push that button, it goes in that straight line. So if you're trolling down the bank, it's perfect. You don't have to worry about going left or right. Every now and then you got to do it just because of wind and stuff. But it just goes, and you can just concentrate on fishing. Once you catch a fish, you can put your anchor mode, and you know it'll anchor right there while you're doing all your picture taking, all that stuff. And that's it. Everything else is simple: speed up, speed down, left and right. All right, let's get out on the lake. Let's test her out, and let's get some fish in the boat. All right, we're out here on the lake. I'm just going to hit this little spot right here where there is a little bit of wind out there. Right here, there's not that much wind. I want to try to get a couple fish in the boat, but right now I have it off. But once you see when I turn around, you're going to see when I just start trolling down the bankway, I'm just put it on navigate, and I usually run either speed 2 or speed 3, and that's where I'll stay most of the day. Right now it's the heat of the day. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, still 90 plus degrees. So I'm just swimming. There's a lot of, you can't see it from the camera, but there's a lot of eelgrass right in here, and the bass like to stay in there during the hot weather. So what I do is I run my own SMOKIN Fins Magnum. Right now I got the plum color, Plum Crazy. It's a Magnum speed worm. I just let it hit the bottom, and then I just reel it in real slow, and the bass just freaking eat it up. As I was saying before on the new Autoboat, there's so much more room now. You don't have the box, you don't have the excessive wires, there's not wires getting tangled up. So much better than it was nothing wrong with the pedals on this thing, but what's wrong with it is what's on the back, and that is the rudder, and the rudder is terrible. It's too skinny. It doesn't turn you properly. It just, but the only thing I would change on this thing is that rudder. Which we might eventually upgrade. I know there is a company that has a little slip-on that goes on the bottom of it that does make it wider, which would definitely help. So the wind's blowing right into me, so I'm gonna kind of cruise up to these lily pads. That wind's coming off that lily pad, so I think we're gonna kind of just hit it right in there. I got my new prototype bladed jig out right now. We're going to try it. Still got a little wobble, excessive wobble problems with it right now, but I wanted to bring it out and just test it as it is. And we hopefully catch a fish on it. I brought it out here just to learn a little bit more. Also got my Smokin' Fins bait, spinner bait. Also, so it's a Smokin' Fins day is what I'm trying to say. And we can show you the benefits of the Autoboat plus the benefits of catching some fish. Came out of the water on that one. Oh, that's a good one. Nice. He's not done. A little fighter for a little guy. I'd say they're chasing. There we go. All right, guys, we showed you the lake. Now we want to show you real quick what it does in the current. We're out on the St. Johns River. We're out here for a couple hours a night just to test it out. Actually put my 50 foot-pounds trolling motor on here. It's a Newport, and we're going to see what it does in the current and maybe catch some fish, but we'll see. So let's get out there and show you what all it does in the current. So I said in my video earlier that you should always calibrate it basically when you're starting fresh each time. My navigation mode wasn't working, and it finally kicked in, just a few minutes after I left, that you have to calibrate it. Once I calibrate it, now it's working great. Push the navigation mode on a straight line when I go. Now I can work this bank line to where I want to go, keep fishing until I get where I want to go, and just barely, move it left or right wherever I want to go. So always calibrate it whenever you start a new day or a new session out. Calibrate it. Best thing to do. Alright everybody, that's the video on the Autoboat installation, the review of it, and also the new mount for the Magellan Pro Angler. Wasn't the best instruction video you could put out, but as you can see, it's very simple to install, very simple to operate. You saw how it operated in the lake and also on the river. The river's so nice. I put it on navigation mode, and you can see right there at that last clip, I know I sped it up a little bit, but that just tells you pretty much how straight it goes and how easy it is to fish without worrying about where you're going, steering, pedaling, and all that. So very great product. They totally fixed everything that was wrong with the Generation 1 into this Generation 2. Highly recommend it. Not associated with them at all. The customer service is great. Like I said, they called me personally, worked through some of my problems with the other one, and worked out a deal on the new one since I had so many problems with it. So I do recommend this highly. I mean, for any small boat, even a John boat. I also run it on our little Coleman Crawdad, a little 12-foot plastic boat, John boat. It works great on that, and it works great on a kayak. To me, it's one of the best inventions for a kayak. You have all these new ones coming out, $2,000–$3,000. Not saying nothing's wrong with them, but for $600–$700, you put this on, and you're good to go. It does everything the big ones does at fourth of the price, I think. So works great. Highly recommend it. Thanks for tuning in. Trying to get more videos out to you guys, and I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. We're getting really close. If y'all just hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and the share button, I much appreciate it, and we'll get out a video to you very shortly, probably on some bait making coming soon. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you got any questions about this, about the Magellan, anything, leave a comment. I pretty much reply instantly. I get all the notifications. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.